So I just like to start to preface. I was in almost every single pre-merge tribal. I was never voted once in the pre-merge, and also I was even swap screwed. I was the only person from my team in my tribe,
Muted.
and I lost, and I still survived. And then I lost another. We won, and then they lost again, and then I still survived that with only 3 people. So I was able to align with the right people. And Ducky was the vote until he showed me he had a super
Man
safety because he trusted me,
1487
which
joined.
I knew if I kept on voting Ducky, eventually he would get voted out, and I wouldn't be the one going home once he uses the super safety. And then going on to merge, I'd never heard my name once until the infamous Rekko's lies or whatever. And
D3
then
Ethan joined.
I was always on the right side of the vote, and then whenever I wasn't, I was always just in case somebody used an idol. So I always felt pretty protected until people believed the Rekko's lie, which kudos to them because I think I would have had a better game if I didn't get voted out there. And then eventually I got voted out, and then I won against the literal comp beast Rekko's. And once I came back, I came back in a power position. I mean, there was 2 groups. I came back and the challenge said it was split 4-3 in the challenge, and the 4 people wanted to make an alliance. And to be honest, that's a shifty move, but being in an alliance as soon as you come back, you have to agree with it. And then I saw there was a rift between 2 groups. And Chris came up to me and said we have to work together, blah blah blah. But personally, Chris, I think you were playing the best game. Second of all, you voted me out, so I immediately went to Atomics to say that you were saying his name and that we all need to vote Chris out because this is the only chance we'll have. So I sent Chris home. And then it was a 2v2 and I was directly in the middle. It was Soup and Jake versus Cora and Atomics. I knew Soup was doing
The
a
ghost
really
guy
good job at this
_
game.
Rishitafishi
So
joined.
I knew I had to pick off Soup. So I went with that one side and voted off Soup. But once I went to the next tribal, I didn't want to vote Jake because I didn't know what his gameplay is, and I feel like Atomics was playing the better game than Cora because Atomics was always able, after being heavily targeted, to survive. So I knew he was going to be a threat in the jury. Plus, when I was in jury, everybody seemed to love him. So I even had the inside scoop. So when I voted out Atomics, me and Cora were locked in and voted Atomics out. That's it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, and then moving on, we have Jake next.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be here again. I was in the final 3 of the last season, and I came into this game trying to prove to myself that I was better than a 0 vote finalist. And I think I came into this game and played a completely different game than I did last time. I think last time I was so nervous and afraid that I was just so focused on survival that I wasn't really able to make moves.
Man
But this
1487
time,
left.
I think I really managed my threat really well, even being a finalist from the past season. I felt like I kept the heat off of me really well early, and I made really, really strong alliances with both major sides in the game, which in my opinion was the Ducky side and then like the Chris and Rekko side. I was really good with both of those sides. My game plan going in was to work with the big players like Rekos and Chris and use them as my shields. So the only 2 votes that I was on the bottom was the votes where my shields went out, which I mean, not great to be on the bottom of a vote, but all things considered, I my plan was to have people like Chris, like Rekos, like Soup to be targeted before me, which just proven by Capri's speech, he didn't know where I was at and didn't view me as a huge threat. So I was able to really just sneak through the radar. And I think I made good relationships with people that I wasn't necessarily close to. And anybody who I wasn't really able to get a good connection with, I tried to make sure that they were one of the people out of the game. I think my biggest move was just audibly saying that I wanted Mordecai out at that round. I knew I had some sus on me that round. I knew I was a target. And I made sure that the votes switched up. And I think that tribal council was because I made a big move there. Um, I'm really proud that I was able to get here again. Um, I think this was a really fun game, and I had a lot of fun with all of you. Um, uh, Congratulations to the other two finalists. I am just really excited to be here. I think I played a great game, and I'm really proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. And then finally, Cora.
Okay, so I went into the game thinking, like, I don't really care if I get out. And I guess that worked really good because, okay, I'll just explain. Sorry, I'm not good at speeches, but bear with me. In the beginning, I did make a return alliance with Ariana and Capri that I planned to stick with. And then we had like a 3-tribe swap where I then made another core alliance with Chris, which I think was like a really good alliance because Chris trusts me, and I like with Chris and Ducky being at each other most of the game, I was kind of more in the back and under the radar. And um oh, I probably couldn't have like made final 3 if I didn't ally with Chris and have him trust me more. And then at this, when we got the tribe swap, is when we had 3 tribes, and I had Miss Bob, Mordecai, Atomic, and Chris. And this is when I did spill my final 3 alliance with Capri and Ariana to get more of the newbies to trust me, because this tribe was full of newbies more that I didn't really know. And because of being a returnee, I would have a target on my back. So I wanted them to trust me. And then at final 11, I did choose to break my final 3 alliance and vote out Ariana.
Man1487
because
joined.
Ducky was there, and Ducky had called me and Ariana out for being really close and wanting him out. So I chose to vote Ariana to get back on Ducky's good side and have him trust me. So I was still remaining my under the radar game, because at this time my name hadn't been thrown out or anything other than when Ducky called me out. And then then again at final 10, I decided to vote Ducky, even though I had just gotten on his good side, because Chris and Ducky was more of a wild card when Chris trusts me a lot. So I decided to vote Ducky to keep Chris as a strong alliance and as like more of a shield too, because people were more after him and I was just there. Then Chris used a safety and Ducky super safetied, and Miss Bob got out, which I was okay with because me and Miss Bob, we had an alliance, but she was also finding advantages like left and right. She was doing good on that. And I think like she was in a good position, but that like random vote kind of just got her out. And then after Chris got out, I decided to make a new final 3 alliance with Mordecai and
Abby joined.
Atomics. And this is when, and after this, I had a good alliance with them too, and we were voting people out that we didn't want. And then Redemption came around, and I took that chance with Capri getting back to get like my alliance back going with him. Our final 2 alliance with Ariana, we decided to bring that back, and I brought him into our final 4 alliance as I suggested. And then
Man1487
Mordecai
left.
kind of started throwing more names out and being more of a threat and being more noticed. So we decided as our alliance to me and Capri decided to go after him, but Jake had already thrown his name out. So we didn't even have to really make a move on it. And we decided that. And we kind of left Atomics out of that because Atomics, I don't think would have flipped on Mordecai because he was doing like pretty good with that alliance there. I think Mordecai trusted him a lot. And then in Final Four, me and Capri were locked in. We'd kept our final two alliance from the beginning after him getting back in, and it was a really good alliance. So in Final Four, I would have probably stuck with Atomics, but Jake did win, and congrats to you for that. Jake did win, and we kind of just had no choice but to vote Atomics. So that's my final three speech. Congrats to both Capri and Jake too, and thank you for listening to my speech. Oh my god,
Period.
Mike.
That was T. Okay, so now the jurors are each gonna have one question. It can be to one of them or all three of them, but the answers from the finalists must be under 2 minutes. So remember that while answering. But we're gonna go in order of you being voted out. So I guess we're gonna start with Shmaz. If you have a question ready.
Yeah, my question's for Capri.
Yes, sir.
Wait, okay, you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
While you were eliminated in the abyss, how did you use the twist to your advantage?
First of all, I actually used my twist. Everybody wanted somebody that was gonna go home, and I acted like Cora, like not to be mean, but like I was gonna be like, oh, Cora's gonna go home because I had her vote. To be honest, I had no clue if Cora was gonna go home or not. I just wanted Cora to be safe. So if the chance that I come back, I knew Cora would work with me, and I was correct. And I got a final 2 with her. And I also got a gauge on who was a threat and who wasn't, and that's how I figured out Atomics was a threat because he was very much pushed to get the safety because people just liked him. And if he's that likable, you don't want that person in your final 3. So I made the move to get him out.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. And then our next vote comes from, well, Ariana's not here. So I guess we'll skip that jury question. Miss Bob is also not here.
It conduct
So our next
0483
juror
left.
was Ducky. Ducky, if you have a question for one or
Yeah,
multiple.
I have a
Okay.
question.
And don't
Okay,
make it messy.
congrats. No, it's not gonna be messy. Actually, I'm a good juror this time. So,
Right,
congrats,
right.
finally. You three really play a really good
Man
game. I'm proud of
1487
you, even
joined.
though all of you voted me out. But as we all can see, all three of you are returnees, and you all made it to the end this time. What's
Yep.
something you did this season different and better in comparison with your first Tylaster season?
In 2 minutes, please, everyone, just so we can keep
Yeah.
this moving. But we're gonna go alphabetical order again. So we'll start with Capri.
So last season, I got out early. I simply didn't make a definitive move. I never said this person's name and they went home. This time, as soon as I came back from Redemption, every single vote that I came back from Redemption, I said their name first and they went home. Or they came to me and said which or which, and I voted that person and they went home. Like in Chris's sake, I went up to Atomics as soon as he said his name and I spread it to him. So then I could get everybody on board with Chris. And then with Soup's vote, it was the war between the two, and I was in the middle. And I knew Soup was a threat because I've seen him play the whole game, and I knew I had to get him out, even though I knew he would trust me, but I had to take that risk, so I got him out. And then with the Atomics vote, oh wait, with the Atomics, there was a vote. What was it? With Chris, I think with Soup. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, something Cora didn't want to do somebody, and I got Cora on our side so we would have majority to get out, I think, Chris, and she wanted somebody. No, Mordecai. She made the alliance with Mordecai, and I was able to convince her that Mordecai was this messy player. I had no idea Mordecai was messy. I was just feeding the fact that he was messy, he was a liar, he was saying everybody's name. I didn't talk to Mordecai once. So I just had to make him seem like this big, bad, big player to get Cora on our side to flip and get Mordecai out. And then I wanted Atomic out because I knew that he was well liked in the jury from my time in the Abyss. So I didn't want him to make the finale. And that's it.
Okay, am I next?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
next, Jake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said in my previous speech, I literally said in my application that I'm coming in here to play a different game than I did last time. Last time I came in and I was the 0 vote finalist. I think I played very scared, and I think I played for my own survival. I don't think I necessarily played a bad game last time, but I feel like I did have something to prove to myself and to everyone else this time. And I think this time I did prove that I'm a savvy player who is able to make moves that they need to win the game. Um, every single round, if I wasn't a target, I was the person making the target. And I wasn't really a target until the final few rounds because of my shield strategy that I used. I feel like I played a much better game this time in that I really took control of my own actions, and I was never really at the bottom. I never was voted out, which I think is a big plus for my game. Um, and I believe that the moves that I made were very intentional to get me further. Whereas last time I feel like I sort of stumbled into the position. This time I feel like I got myself here by my own volition, and I managed my threat level enough coming in as a finalist and as a vet to make sure that I would get to this position that I'm in here now, and I did do that.
Mario Fire 3940 joined.
Thank you, Jake. And lastly, Cora.
Okay, I think my past game, I've been told my past game I sheeped a lot, and this game I did play my usual under the radar game. I'm guilty of that. But I think I'm more of I didn't take I didn't choose to be with majority like the past game. I'd usually choose to be with majority or whatever would get me further. And this game, I kind of just chose whoever was the bigger threat and more of just went with what I thought was best for my game, more of than just listening to my allies in the past few games like I did. So I think I kind of just had my own game this time, more of than listening to everyone else around me.
Thank you, Cora. Also, like around here might be a little messed up. I'm not sure who went after who, but I think it's Rekos next. So Rekos, if you have your question ready.
All right. Congrats, Final Three.
Thank
I'm just going to kind of address each of you real quick and say what I'm thinking based off the vibes I'm getting so far. So, Jake, I think you played by far the best social game here, but strategically, I don't know how integrated you were. Um, Once the shields dropped, I don't know if you would have survived without your safeties. Capri, I knew that you were in a really comfortable position. That's why I tried to spin a target on you and take you out. And I was succeeded in that. Now, the problem with a lot about last two games is it's really hard to vote for a redemption winner. And I need you to prove to me why you deserve that vote. And lastly, Cora, I think you played a really good social game and you were able to deflect the target to various people. But I don't know strategically if you have like a core move that benefited you going forward. So I need you all to prove me wrong for each of those, okay? So I'll just like let you guys explain.
Am I up first?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, I get what you're saying, but simply there was even if I didn't have safety, I do not think I would have went home because I was that Mordecai vote. I didn't need safety. I Cora literally said it herself. She locked in a final three alliance with Mordecai, and I went up to her and I just immediately got her to change her mind and swap to me and get enough votes to get Mordecai. I mean, Jake obviously said it out loud, which I don't think he needed to do, but it got Mordecai sent home and he was gone. Then then it was Soup's vote. I was in between the two people that wanted each other out. I was able to make my decision. I could have went with the Soup and Jake alliance, but I knew Soup was the biggest threat out of everyone there. So I sent home Soup. Then it was the final four, and I knew Atomics was the hero. Everybody's rooting for this person. Nobody else saw that. Jake said, "Oh, Atomics isn't a threat at all." I knew Atomics would be likable if he sold his game correctly. I knew I had to get him out there and then. And so I made a choice, me and Cora. Cora trusted me enough to vote
Gem
with me when I was
4098
entirely
left.
vulnerable, and I sent home Atomics. When I could have just done the easy vote and done Cora, but I did. I played a strategic match move for me every single time since I was at Merge, and I played the most social game before I came back in Redemption, and after Redemption, I played the most strategical game.
Thank you, Capri. And lastly, Cora.
Oh, I didn't go.
Oh, Jake didn't get to go.
Oh, Jake. I mean, Jake. Sorry. Jake, you're good.
So Rekos, I do think it's very fair to say that I was in some heat that especially the last round. I think at the final 5, even if I wouldn't have won immunity, I think Soup was probably a bigger target than me. But I will say that a part of my strategy, which I mean is kind of not something that we usually talk about, but I know that I'm pretty good at these challenges. And the only
Man
people that were better than me
1487
in the
left.
challenges were probably Soup and Chris. So having them as my shields going before me, it pretty much ensured that I was going to win that final
Theghost guy
challenge.
underscore
There was
left.
never really a chance that I thought I was going to lose out on challenges. I know
Man
that that's not really the
1487 joined.
greatest like thing to say, that like I'm a challenge beast, so I should win. I don't think that that was my whole game. I think that socially, I really worked my ass off. I really was not close with Cora or Atomics, really at all throughout the game. And Capri was on the complete opposite tribe as me, so we were not close either. But I felt like I was working good relationships with all of them, and I think even though it might not have been necessary for me to call out Mordecai at that vote, I think it did earn me a little bit of trust with Cora, because I literally like out loud said that I did not want to vote Cora, and the entire point of that was to get somebody who was probably not that much on my side to see me in a little bit better of a light. Um, I worked really hard on the people that I wasn't really close with, that if I couldn't get them out, I really tried to get them on my side. And I think that even if I wouldn't have won that final 4, I think I could have at least tried to split the vote. And I think I could have made something happen. I know that's sort of hypothetical, but I did win the immunities that I needed to. So I think I played a good game.
Thank you, Jake. And then lastly, Cora. You're muted. Cora.
Uh-oh.
Cora, rejoin
Cora.
the call. Cora said they can't unmute. Girl. Cora, rejoin the call. Rejoin the call, girl.
Dude, what's happening? Oh, no,
Oh,
we're good,
they're
we're good.
muted. Cora, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh my god.
You're good.
Okay. So I think, yes, my strategic game wasn't the most strategic it could have been, but I think my strategic game more blended in with my social game and alliances, because I think the most strategic things I didn't really have a big move or any like being the lead in on voting people out, but I'm more of my most strategic thing was who I chose to ally with. Like, for example, Ducky. Ducky wasn't very much liked, and a lot of people were like going for him, and he made it clear when he joined the game he was going for people also. And I think allying with him was really good because I allied with him, and it made it so he didn't go after me when he clearly did not. He thought me and Ariana were after him, and I decided to ally with him and vote out a strong alliance, Ariana, to get him to more like me and not have my name out there. And I think that was like one of my more strategic moves.
Okay. All right, thank you for the answers. You guys are. This
Thank
is
you,
close.
Cora.
This is close. So
This is a really good final 3. Okay. After Rekos, we have Chris with your question.
My final 3. I'm very excited to be talking to you guys after listening to what you guys have been saying. I think you guys all deserve to be sitting here. And I was originally thinking of asking the famous question from Survivor Amazon, who do you think should sit in your place? However, I think you guys all deserve it. So my question to you all is, what is the hardest thing you had to do in this game?
We'll start with
Dimitri Bride
Capri.
left.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I didn't really have. I felt like I always knew what was going on pre-merge because I was always socially safe until merge hit. I was a little bit shaky until, and I was still safe to a level, and then the vote, and then the lie took me out. But once, I think the hardest move to make, probably weighing out the options between Atomics and Jake before Jake won immunity. Because I didn't Jake. I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure he was just winning comps. So I don't. He hasn't been always at every single tribal like me. I've been to the most tribals out of everyone here, and I was always socially immune before the redemption, and I was always strategically immune, and after redemption. But I think probably weighing my options between Jake and Atomics, saying who was the bigger jury threat, and I picked Atomics mainly because I feel like I don't know if this is true, but I feel like he was just like very well liked from my time in the Abyss.
Thank you, Capri. Jake.
So my hardest move in this game, I think for me, is pretty clear. When we originally swapped tribes, there was an alliance that was created between Schmaz, I think his name is, yeah, Schmaz. Sorry, Schmaz, me, Ariana, and Rekos. And then we swapped again at that next tribal, and I had to vote out. I had
Theghost
to
guy
vote
underscore
Soup,
Rishith
and it
Fishy
ended up in a
joined.
tie, and Soup stayed. Um, After
Theghost
that,
guy
I
underscore
had
Rishith Fishy
to
left.
really like reconcile my relationship with Soup and I really that side in general. And I was able to integrate back in and become Soup's #1 ally again, even after voting for him. So I think that that's a big testament to my social game that I had people with me that I had literally voted for prior, and I had literally told them that I had voted them prior, and they still were my #1 ally. So I think that for me, that was my hardest move, was to get back in with Soup and to get back in with that side, because I was really drawing blank there because I did not want to upset 3 people versus 1. So that was what my plan was going into that, was to vote Soup, not upset 3 people, but then it ended up tying and Soup stayed. So then I just completely rebounded, got back in, and made it happen.
Thank you. And lastly, Cora.
Okay, I unmuted this time. Okay. So I didn't really have hard move, but if I had to pick one, I think voting Atomics, because just one thing that he said got me. I felt so bad voting him out because in the competition beforehand, I told him like I'm gonna stick with you, like, or no, in the one, the like, I don't even know what it's called, the challenge, the jumping one, the whatever, the one that Jake won. I think it was final. It was final five, yeah. I in that he was like, "Oh, girl, I wanted to ally with you because I watched season 0 and kind of saw how loyal and truthful you were." Yet I was like lying to his face the whole time. But yeah, so I like felt really bad voting him out in Final Four because I kind of really had no choice though, because I did choose Final Two with Capri over him, and then Jake kind of won.
Thank you, Cora. So thank you for that question. Okay, so after Chris's question, we have Mordecai. I think that's how you pronounce it. If you have a question.
Hello, guys. Mine is not really a question. I am more going to talk to the fellow members of the jury. Um, I was someone in this game. You could say a lot about my game. It was not subtle and it was not stable. And I was a part of almost every major alliance, at least a little bit, because I talked to everybody. So I really felt like I knew a lot what was going down, and I had a really good viewpoint of how the game was going. And that's why I think the only person here deserving of winning is Jake. I'm not here to question anyone. I just want to say why Jake is undoubtedly the deserving winner. He stayed under the radar for the most of the beginning game, aligning with all the correct moves and getting with every correct vote until he realized he needed to start making moves. Chris was a huge threat. Chris was in charge of several votes, and Jake hid behind several threats before having Chris taken out. He also had me taken out, and one of the best moves of the entire thing of me scrambling, hearing my name once, he applied to
The ghost
me
guy
trying to stay
_Rashid
safe.
FTC joined.
He like used that to his advantage and had me voted out. Ever since the merge, ever since the votes of Chris,
The ghost guy
Rokas,
_Rashid
or I
FTC
mispronounced
left.
that, Ricos, Chris, Ricos, me, Atomics, he was knocking out every single person that was left in the game that was still a threat to him. And I think it was an incredible game, and everybody knows he's a great social player, and I feel like everyone is undermining how great of a strategic player he is. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
Wait,
Thank you, Mark.
can we interject? Like, can I ask something?
Yeah,
about
go
Jake?
Yeah,
ahead.
if you have a
Yeah.
question, if
I just like to say, Mordecai, I was the one spreading your name. I was the one that got you out because I was able to convince Cora to flip to my side when she just made a final 3 with you. Jake would just said your name out loud. You would have been blindsided if he didn't. That was honestly more risky because you could have had an idol and then you could have used it and we could have been screwed.
Cora, can you confirm, were you gonna vote me whether or not Jake was talking loud about me?
No, I think Capri convinced me because I kind of cared more what he thought because I chose the final 2 alliance with him.
All right,
And I think also Jake also wasn't really the only one that was under the radar. I think my name was only put out a few times when it was really the last option.
I definitely did hear your name a couple of times. And I felt like you also had, with the under the radar thing, you were in a tie vote. That was one vote, one person flipping away from going home. So I feel like the under the radar doesn't as much apply there.
So I'll just say that for getting people against you, Mordecai, I had actually started the round prior. I started working on atomics with who was it? It was with Soup and someone else. And I literally was like, Mordecai is a snake. Mordecai is a flipper. Mordecai is coming for anyone and everyone. I literally said this to Cora. I said this to Cora literally that same round, I'm pretty sure. So she could confirm that I did say that. I had your number because I knew that you were probably going to target me. So I really tried hard to get you out there. So
and then I also
people could say that was unneeded, but I think it helped my game. So
yeah,
I didn't go
and
out
the
there.
votes of Soup and Atomics right after, I think was very well done by you. And when you were the biggest threat, winning that final challenge was like a winner move in my opinion.
Okay,
I just
so
like
I'm
to
gonna have to stop
say
you guys
though.
there. This is 2 minutes, so
All right, sorry.
yeah. But thank you for that. Next question from Soup.
Hey, anyway, can I just add a statement and then a question? I'm not gonna lie, Jake is the reason I voted Mordecai. I wanted Cora out, but
Not your
I
fucking continuing
honestly
this.
okay. Let me shut up. I just thought like
No. Keep going. I'm so sad.
no.
Keep
Okay.
going.
I honestly, I didn't like. I kind of trusted Mordecai, like low key at that point. But then it was kind of like a last minute when Jake screamed that. I was like, no, I wasn't gonna vote Mordecai at that point. I was like, I have to vote him. But continue to my question. I am a big fan of a social game rather than a comp beast. And I can say, obviously, people know me and Jake aligned, so I know most of his like votes and everything. But I didn't see much of Cora or Capri. So I wanted to ask, how do you think you made your way there socially using me?
Gem4098 joined.
Oh, okay. So first off,
And
socially,
this is just for Capri and Cora, right? Or Jake as well.
Oh no. This is for all of them.
Okay.
so first off, social wise, I was the most social person before the pre-merge and before I got voted out. I never got a single vote, and I went to the most tribals. I was even swap screwed with being the only person, but I was always socially immune. And then once I got back, I made every single move. I made the deciding vote. I got Cora to sway to my side when she made a final 3. And Jake said that he was telling Atomics to vote, that he planted seeds in Atomics' head, but Atomics didn't vote Mordecai. So that didn't work. And also, I was able to send home Soup, Mordecai, and Atomics. All the people I wanted to send home, I was able to get Cora, the main person, to give us numbers, because Soup, and Jake were all talking that we're gonna vote Mordecai, and then I got Cora on her side, and we got him sent home, and then I got Soup sent home. Sorry, because I knew you were the most social person. You were kind of in both, but I needed that spot of being in both alliances, so I could set myself up the best. So I think I played a more strategical game towards the end, but I was the most social player beforehand of the pre-merge, and I was still pretty social because I only received 1 vote after my redemption, and before the redemption, I received +1, and the tribal I got out. So socially wise, I didn't get much votes except for the tribal I went home in.
Jake, you can go.
So, to answer your question, Soup, about how I felt like I used you in the game, I feel like in a lot of ways you really were the center of my game, like the center of my success. I really do think earning your trust back was like a major tipping point in my success. I think I think that you and I and Chris were able to be huge threats in this game, but we're able to keep each other safe. And it was actually you, me, and Chris that organized on the double eviction to get Capri eliminated, and we were successful. Uh, you and I were completely running around this game the entire time, working with whoever we needed to, and it sadly was. Wasn't planning on voting you out, but it sadly was my strategy that you would be voted out before me, because I really did not want to vote you for a second time, but uh, I really think that you were a super strategic core to my game, and I would not have been able to do what I did without you.
Thank you. Cora.
Honestly, I don't think I really used Soup in my social game because I think the only time we were roped together, more of at when it was getting to the final few, I kinda knew that I was eventually gonna vote you because I wasn't really close with you. I think the only, like, interactions we had
Abby
mostly
left.
were when me, you, and Chris were roped together, kinda just discussing the votes a few times, and I think I kinda stayed away from you because at the beginning, I did throw your name out a little bit, and I didn't think you were gonna wanna ally with me after that, but I think the only time I used you in my social
Evader
game was me, you, and
taxes
Chris
left.
talking, and maybe, like,
Wait, they were
it made you I don't really know. But I think that's the only time I really used you in my social game.
Thank you. So thank you for that question. And lastly, Atomic, your question. Final 4.
Okay, hello. I thought I would say I kind of understand why I was gone now. I didn't really get it at the time, but I do understand that it's just a game. And you hurt me, how dare you? Okay, but my question, I think, yeah, I don't know if it's already been said, I've been zoned out, but why do you think you deserve to win over your
Left.
opponents?
We'll start with Capri.
Midna left.
Okay, so I just like to say I think I deserve the win over these 2 people is because I literally was the most socially player pre-merge. Every single tribal I was in except for 2, I never caught a vote pre-merge. And I was in the most tribals of anybody there. I was even swap screwed, the only person on my tribe, into an entirely other tribes that all have connections. And I was able to survive twice. Then I was able to make it to merge, and then I was able to get a grasp on what was happening until I knew that I was getting votes, and the lie got me out. And then when I came back, I know everybody had no trust on Mordecai, and if this is Jake's move, I don't exactly see how that's the case because Jake had soup, sure, but
Sign on
he
mute.
did. Huh?
You can
Okay.
keep going.
Okay, so Jake didn't have the numbers. He just said his name in the tribal. Sure, he was planting seeds, but Atomic didn't vote for Mordecai. Atomic voted with Mordecai. And I was able to get Cora, which is what gave us numbers. So I was the deciding vote. I gave them numbers by bringing Cora. So without me and getting Cora on my side, that wouldn't have happened. And Jake wasn't the one that got me to vote Mordecai. I voted Mordecai because I knew he was like the, I don't know, villain, but if he was making all the moves, I needed him out. And
Thank you.
then
Oh.
I got soup out entirely. That was my decision. There was 2 people going after me. I made the move to get soup out because I knew soup would best my game entirely. So I sent soup home, and then I sent.
That is time, Capri.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's time. Thank you though. And Jake.
No problem.
So I really came here into this game versus last one with something to prove. And I think the major difference between my game this time and last time is that every single move that I made in this game was intentional. And even if there was varying success to anything that I was doing, I was throwing everything at the wall that I could to make sure that me and hopefully my shields would make it as far as possible. So then I would make it into the final 3. I think my strategy worked, and I think socially my skills really worked out. Even the people that I wasn't close with, I felt like were pretty decent with me.
Guy
I
underscore
felt like
joined.
anyone who wasn't close with me, I was able to get out.
Guy underscore
I do want to take credit for Mordecai because I was the one who was actually willing to be vocal and actually say something. I mean, they can say behind the scenes that they were a big part of it, but I actually made the move out loud in front of everyone, in front of the jury, in front of the other people there, and I'm still sitting here in the final 3. I believe that I made the best social connections here because I'm here. I believe that I played the best physical game because I won 3 challenges and nobody took me out ever, even though that. And yeah, I think I played a great game to be really proud of, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. And Cora.
I think I kept my alliances open and I kept my threat level down. There were a lot of chances where if I didn't make the key alliances I did, then those alliances probably would have called me out and wanted me to like be out. But I kept my threat level down and allied with people who I thought were eventually gonna call me out. And then I also didn't really rely on comps to get where I was. Like, and I more of just relied on my social game. That's all. That's kind of all.
Thank you, Cora. So with that, that's all of our questions for the jury. I made channels. And there's a parchment. So write down within, you can save it and then go to your camera and write down who you want to win and then send the parchment into your
0483
channel.
joined.
If you guys can't see the channel, then tell me. But
I'm
yes, you're
shaking.
good for the winner.
I don't see a parchment anywhere. What's the channel called?
I pinged you.
Wait, hold
Okay,
up.
okay. I just got it.
Can anyone else not see it?
Oh,
Wait, Trix, look at DMs.
Are you guys voting for or Harrison to win?
Girl.
What was that?
Lie.
Yes or no, guys?
Oh my god. Smaz,
Unmuted.
come down. Smaz, come down. Smaz, why did you send it 5 times?
Wait, do we vote?
I'm
I
trying to send
swear I
mine.
didn't know I
Sorry.
was doing that.
Sorry, I'm trying to send mine.
Do we have to vote?
I'm trying to send mine too. Sorry.
Wait, Trix, can you send that in his channel?
Mine won't let
Okay.
me edit it.
Yes.
It's okay, Shaz.
It's not letting me edit it.
Oh, Recos. Oh,
Oh,
You
oh.
know, I'm popping in here to say that, like, you know, as a prominent member of the jury, I can say that, like, you know how, like, those presidential ballots have those, like, write-in options? You
Lucas2458
guys are
joined.
also able to write in the option for Chris.
No,
If
you
you
can't.
guys okay,
You
never mind.
can't.
It was worth a
You're like
try.
the individual party.
What?
You get 0 votes.
I had the best outfit, period.
I have a
That's
vote
a
in my
lie.
heart.
Oh my god. We have a
I should get
winner.
voted for being a shark.
Shaking. Recos, send your fucking vote.
hold on, bro.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Unmuted.
I'll just do this.
Muted.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're doing it.
Recos,
We're
hurry
doing
up,
it.
dude. We're all
Are you
waiting.
gonna be sending the votes
We're doing
in
Wait,
it.
like
hold on,
the
hold on.
Okay.
I need her to do Miss Bob. Is Miss Bob sent her vote in like their confessional?
Wait, where's the votes? What channel's the votes in?
We're gonna send it in season 2. I'll ping you guys.
I feel like Hannah in Millennials Gen X when she just like is at the voting booth for like 5 minutes. uh, I'm
Okay,
going with
hold
that.
on. Let me make Miss Bob's vote.
I'm
Tyson,
going with
you're
that.
doing
I'm
the
going with
votes,
that
right?
answer.
Unmuted.
Tyson, you're doing the votes, right?
Muted.
Yes.
Rapsy, fucking delete that message. Oh my god.
Unmuted.
Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. The one you sent in Recos.
Muted.
No, you can't know. They can't know.
Unmuted. Muted.
Bye.
Point blank enter period.
Oh my god, I've been deleting a lot of Rhapsody's messages. Sorry. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me send Ariana's too. They DMing it. Tyson, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have all the votes except Ariana's?
I do. Let me save them really quick.
There, I just sent Ariana's and everyone else is there. I do want to say that no one is a 0 vote finalist. So this was very close.
Wait. I wish I could play like the Survivor like voting thing. Never mind. Just go. Just vote. Just vote.
Someone play it through the mic.
No, no, I'm not going to Team Embarrassment for that.
Wait, hold on. Let me try. Hold on. Go search up on
You have
YouTube.
all the votes, Tyson?
I'm saving them right now.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay.
Someone should play some suspenseful music.
Okay.
I'll sing it. All right.
Wait, do you
Y'all
guys
ready?
hear it?
Oh.
Oh.
What?
No.
So I need to sound to the soundboard? Where?
Wait,
Aw.
guys, for suspenseful music, what if I played like Benson Boone? So like everyone wants to die.
Unmuted.
I loved the drum set there.
What channel am I sending this in? Hold on.
I'll ping
Okay,
you.
is it working or no? Was it working?
Oh. Do y'all hear that?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Alright, everybody go to season 2, final 3.
Oh,
Go to
okay.
the season 2 final 3 chat.
Let's
Alright,
see.
first vote.
Not funny.
Jake.
Where the
Yeah.
Jake.
Our second vote.
I'm literally shaking.
Come on.
Cora.
Wait, let me
Third
get back
vote.
into it.
Capri.
Capri. Fourth vote. Jake.
Muted.
5th vote. Cora.
Bougie ass handwriting.
I write in cursive. Oh.
Shut up! Shut up!
Wow.
Shut up!
Just wow.
Unmuted. Muted. Unmuted.
Jake.
Muted.
Who?
Jake.
Oh.
And our winner.
Of season 2.
GG's.
Is
Yes,
Jake.
sir.
Oh my god!
Congrats.
Bitch. Yes,
Congrats.
bitch.
Congratulations, Jake.
Oh wait, where's the soundboard?
Thank
Hold on.
you. Thank you
Jake
so
wins.
much.
But I just want to say I'm proud of everyone, girl. No one is a 0 vote finals.
Unmuted.
Y'all ate. Like that final 3 was so good.
Congrats,
Yeah, guys.
Um,
Mike.
I know I was messy as hell, guys.